Hi guys, today I'm going to show you the economic 2x2 spruce tree farm. So this is a spruce tree farm that was designed for players that play on multiplayer servers where they can't build efficient mob farms and don't have an unlimited bone meal supply. So I got some comments of people that always requested some bone meal efficient farms, and the best way to make an automatic tree farm that is bone meal efficient is of course go large scale and either use the 2x2 jungle trees or the 2x2 spruce trees. It's a lot easier to deal with the spruce trees, that's why I went with those. The amount of bone meal you get from a single skeleton spawner is enough to completely supply this farm. So in fact, if you build this farm directly next to a skeleton spawner, you would even make a profit if you AFK here. But the farm is still quite decently fast, so you would get 10,800 lux per hour while AFKing in here. So let's check it out. So because this farm is not really that fast, I could make it as simple as possible. So the whole leaf breaking and log pushing, which is basically the main farm, is just this part. And it's the same slice every 2 layers. It's super easy to build. What's a little more complicated is then this log converter or sawmill, which brings the logs into a better shape, so you can put it in the standardized TNT blast system. So here we use a TNT duper, so you don't even need to invest any TNT to break the blocks. Okay, let's check it out. So here's the entrance. On the left I made a chest for a little bone meal storage. That's actually enough to last for about 8 hours. On the right we can turn it on, then this also starts the minecart. You need some saplings and just need a AFK here, hold down right click. So here you can see the cascading effect of the wiring. Meanwhile you can place new saplings while the trunk is processed. Maybe you can catch it. Yeah, you can see here the tree is cut into smaller slices and then put into this log converter system. This is a little bit more complicated because I didn't want to waste a single game tick here to make it as fast as possible. So here's the next tree incoming, and it's compressed with those flying machines here. So first we have a flying machine at the top, pushes the logs down, where they then send further into the log converter, and then afterwards we also have a flying machine from the bottom, and all the logs are brought in the correct shape. We don't use the full tree height, so spruce trees can grow up to 28 high, but it's just easier with the push limit to just deal with 25 high trees, but you don't lose much. So you get around 80 logs on average per single tree. If you would use the full tree, then it's just 81 point something. So there's no larger loss there. Maybe some numbers. So you need about 600 bone meal per hour from a single skeleton spawner. You get approximately 1000 bone meal. So you would even make 400 bone meal profit while AFKing here. Then you get 10,800 logs per hour. Per tree you need 4.3 bone meal. So you need to invest around 1 bone meal for 18 logs. If you compare that to the smaller tree farms, so oak, birch, jungle, acacia and smaller spruce trees, usually the ratio is about 1 to 1.3 logs per bone meal. So this is about 15 times more efficient than a small tree farm. Compared to the usual fast 2x2 spruce tree farms, the bone meal dispenser is disabled a little bit longer, so this gives you enough time so you wouldn't waste any bone meal. For example, in the other 2x2 spruce tree farms, sometimes you have this case where the full 2x2 formation isn't built yet, and then you waste a lot of bone meal. It will only grow if you have a full 2x2. That's why the bone meal dispenser is deactivated a little bit longer, so this gives you enough time to plant enough saplings. I also want to quickly talk about some interesting redstone aspects. So here to get the logs down we use a flying machine, but it's actually a pseudo flying machine on the way down because we grabbed this observer block, so the flying machine wouldn't fly on its own, so it would require this observer block to basically to slow it down. So we give the flying machine an external signal with this observer tower here to slow it down, because it would be way too fast, and that's why we slow the machine down. So the observer is reattached at the bottom here. So basically we have this observer tape, so as you can see on its way up, it flies at the normal speed. you do the same with the lower flying machine. Also have an observer tape on the side, where the observer gets grabbed at the bottom and is reattached to the top here. So the farm is, I think, not super hard to build. It's not... So basically the basic tree farm is really simple to build. The lock converter is a little bit more complicated because I really wanted to make this as fast as possible. So the whole task we have to do here is to bring the 2x2 shape of blocks into a block stream. So if we wouldn't care about speed at all, we could get this a lot simpler. We could do something like this instead. Should also work. Like this, and power this one again. This would also work. But the issue is that it's slow, because as you saw in the last moment, this piston is still in the way. So we would already want to push in the locks here from the side. Basically would lose 50% of the speed if you would have a piston layout like this. It would be a lot easier to power this, but it's a lot slower. So what we do here, we shuffle the blocks around in an inexplicable way just to get the speed. It's a little bit complicated, but it works fine. So here you can see you get the super speed output of the lock blocks. Every 4 game ticks you get a new lock block. So now everything is put into the standardized TNT chamber. So in case you aren't familiar with the system yet, this is a really efficient TNT blast chamber, just with a single TNT, which you also do, so you don't need to invest any TNT if you break 210 blocks at once. And there's just some minor loss, so you would get 99.7% of the lock blocks as items. So of course you could attach this to your storage system. So all in all, I would say this is the perfect tree farm for early end game. We just need a lot of locks, just to craft some pistons or for chests or poppers or whatever. So once you have a witch farm for redstone and maybe a single cell iron farm, you should already be able to build this. Just need to make a nether quartz mining session to get enough quartz for the observers. So in case if you're interested in building this, there's a world download. Thanks so much for watching, have a nice day, bye bye.